Hi everyone, it's Marilyn Aloria and I am live and super excited to be here, and I can tell that there's a flurry of activity on this page. It's been really exciting to see so many new people joining, and I'm assuming it's because I'm live on Facebook and because we have this incredible video series that is about to take place for everybody. So I'm just going to improve someone right now as they come in, and I'm really excited about what I was going to talk about today. Now, of course, there's a gardener next door and he's blowing, and I hate those blowers. They drive me insane. But I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to let my guides get in between and just kind of ignore that whole thing. So I want to know who's on. Please, please, please come say hi and let me know you're here. And then we are going to talk about some specific things because, you know, it's interesting. I had in my calendar, I'd like planned some of these Facebook Lives like a month ago, and I had in my calendar that I was going to be doing them. And then, hi, Elizabeth. And then, like, as I'm reading the energy of the group and getting to know all of you and seeing what you're all going through, these Facebook Lives change, the topics change. And then as I meditate too and work with my guides, they give me more information about what kind of things you need to know. Now, why did I freeze? There I go. Hey, Megan. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Geraldine. Hi, CB. Hi, Charlene. Nice to see you guys all here. Hi, Gabrielle. It's great to see you. So what we're going to be talking about is just a couple of technical things first. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Christine. Hi, Celine. Hi, Celia. I think that's how you say it, even though you spell it different than what I'm used to. How dare you? So what we're going to talk about first is one of the things I want to make sure technical-wise is make sure that if you're joining the video series that you join that link and that you add info@marilynaloria.com. Write it down right now into your contacts so you get the emails for those particular videos. Hi, Kathy. And the first video is coming out this Friday, March 17th. And I believe it's around 9 a.m. Pacific time. I wish I could tell you for sure, but I have somebody else handling that for me. And I can't remember, to tell you the truth, because there's so much going on. But video one, this Friday, March 17th. Okay, and I know Trisha's on, so I can ask her what time is. But anyway, make sure that you are. Hi, Claudia. Nice to meet you, sweetie. I know there's so many other. Jean and Mary. Hi, 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 Katie. We have a lot to go through. Hi, Viorica. Hope I'm saying that right. Viorica. So great. Hi, Anya. So great to see all of you on here. I'm super excited to talk to you about a couple of things. We're going to really get interactive and let's talk about some stuff. But the main thing is I definitely want you to be joining that video series on Friday because you're going to learn a lot. I worked very hard on those videos and they're being edited right now, and I'm super excited. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Tammy. And make sure you put info@marilynaloria.com into your contact list so you don't miss those things. Okay, that's enough. The other thing I want you to know is I know a lot of you are friending me on my personal page. I don't accept friend requests, so please don't get upset about that. This is my way of connecting with all of you. I have a lot of friends on the East Coast that I want to stay in touch with, and if there's too many people in my news feed, I won't be able to keep touch with family and friends on the East Coast. So I don't accept friend requests from people I don't know like as a friend and family that I'm very close to. So I used to accept it more, but now I've stopped doing that because I found too many people on there. I was like, where are my peeps? Where are my peeps? Hi, Jasmine. So just much, much love to all of you, and just know why that is. All right, let's talk. Hi, Denny. How are you? Nice to see you. So what I want to talk to you, and hi, Miriam, I want to talk to you about something my guides talked to me about this morning. How many of you are seeing yourselves through the filter of other people? How many of you are experiencing your life and even your own personal self through the filter of other people? How many of you are seeing yourself through the filter of other people? And do you know what I mean when I say that? So this is super important to me. Joanne says, I get that. Kimmy says, at times, yes. Debbie says, hola. Hola, Debbie. Hi, Joanne. So the question I'm asking right now is how many times you really feel you see yourself through the filter of other people. So the reason why I'm asking that is because I want you to understand that when you're connecting with your guides, you want to start seeing yourself through the filter of your guides, because your guides hold the highest love for you, the highest experience for you, the highest truth for you. So it's great. A lot of you are saying not anymore. Woohoo! That is wonderful. Geraldine's asking, what do I mean? So what I mean by that is if you're holding something in your life, okay. So if you're holding something in your life, like how you carry yourself, how you are experiencing your day, how you're spending your time, what you're doing for a living, are you doing it based on your highest truth from your heart? Or are you doing it because you've been told that that's what you're supposed to do? So are you experiencing life more through what people have said to you over your lifetime, or are you experiencing life more from your heart? That's the question I want to ask now. So are you experiencing life more from what people have told you you are, or are you experiencing life more from your truth? So let's see what people say on this. Okay. Denny says, more often than I care to. If I can turn it to be the another me, consciousness is better. I love that, Denny. Kamla Devi, hope I'm saying that right, Kamla Devi, she said, whoops, lost it. Not often, depends on who I'm connecting with. Great. We want to make sure it's always consistent, that it doesn't matter who you're connecting with, that you're always seeing yourself through the filter of source, God, and your guides, right? Elizabeth says, interesting you ask about filters. If I have a headache after a tarot reading, the reader did have a migraine. Are my guides trying to send me a message if there is a task the reader wants me to do today and I really don't want to do it? Elizabeth, that's a whole other kit and caboodle thing that I'll get to in a minute. I will answer some of your questions, but that's a whole other thing. The same with you, Dana. So I just want to be clear about something, because as you can see, there's a ton of people on here, right? So I want to get through lessons first before I get to your Q&A. That's more important to me. So, and then definitely get to your questions, of course. I want to help you as much as I can. What I want to explain to you is the relationship that you're building with your guides right now. You're building this relationship so that you can start experiencing your life from your truth, from your heart, from exactly what you want to be doing and who you want, what you want to experience. So the reason why they're saying this to me now, and they're talking to me about this to talk to all of you, is because as my platform gets bigger, as I'm getting out and getting much more opportunities and being asked to be interviewed or go do a production or do different things, the more you go on these things and the more you interact with people, the more they are going to want to do things through their filter, the more they're going to want to put their filter on you. How do you do your job? How do you relate to your husband? How do you deal with your teachers at your kid's school if they're saying something about your kid that doesn't feel right? How do you deal with somebody who's accusing you of something when you know it's not true, right? So these are everyday instances that may happen to a lot of us. And what I want you to do is to be able to pause in the moment and not react to what they're saying, how they're experiencing you, what they're telling you to do. And instead, I want you to react from, thank you, from what you feel is your truth. Does this make sense? That's what I want to know now. Does this make sense? And see where you are with this. CB says, getting better at letting things go and experiencing things through my guides. Great. I love that, CB. Let's see who else is here. Claudia says, I was living that way after getting my master's in special ed way. And after my 45 years of life, I finally surrendered to the calling on my life and embraced my gifts in September. Congratulations, Claudia. That is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Dina says she understands. Megan, hi, Megan. Megan's a psychic that I know, who's a great psychic, by the way. She's in my membership group, and she's just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Joanna, yes, yes. So a lot of you understand. Kim understands. Great. So what I'm trying to teach you through this video courses and through the challenge and everything is I want you to stop going to other people for answers to your questions. I want you to start going to your guides. I want you to start depending on your guides each and every single day. I want you to stop feeling like if you can't afford that reading, then you can't move on in your life. I want you to stop feeling like if you can't go for that healing or that coaching or purchase that particular class, that you can't live and enjoy your life. That's what's really important for me. My nose always gets itchy learning these things. So Jasmine said something I want to go back to. She didn't understand something. Jasmine. Yes, I misunderstood the question earlier and thought you were asking if I can see myself through other people like a mirror. Great. I'm glad that I clarified. It started out with a bang. I should have grounded first. I should have called in my guides, even though they're all here, but I didn't do that because you know what? I'm too excited to talk to all of you. So that's me. Thank you, Jasmine, for letting me know. Okay. Megan says, as I step more into the public eye, this becomes more and more true for me. And I know Megan very well. So I see that in you, Megan, and it's wonderful. Barbara says, yes, I thought of you the other day and remained neutral. The next day I began to analyze and felt sad. So let's talk about that real quick. So what I want you to start doing from now on is when something disrupts you or something happens or you're making a decision or you're making a choice or your child says something, I want you to all pause and I want you to breathe into the center of your being that knows that you're connected no matter what. So let's everybody right now close your eyes and breathe into that part of you that knows that guidance exists, knows that you are connected, knows that everything you need to know, you have the answers to. And as you breathe into that part of yourself, notice where it exists inside of your body. And as you breathe out, just breathe out what you no longer need, whether you're aware of it or not. And as you breathe in more of this connection to this higher presence inside of you that is always existing there. And as you breathe out, breathe that connection out into the world, inviting in the things that are going to serve you to the highest good, happy, good things, not disruptive things. If you need to learn something, let's learn it from a very magical place. And as you breathe in this time into that space in you that is feeling that wisdom, that inner knowing, notice where it's lit up inside of you. Notice what color it is. Give it a color. And as you breathe out, breathe that color out into the world and surround yourself in that color. That what you're inviting in at all times is a recognition, a consciousness that you have everything you need with you at all times, even if something happens that disrupts your energy. And as you breathe out now, I want you to breathe out a commitment from me that during this month of March, when I'm sharing all these lessons with you, you're going to commit to your guides and to yourself, and I can be third on that list, that you're going to do your best with absolute love to really try to pause and connect with this part of yourself before you react or respond. How does it feel to make that commitment? Do you trust yourself? How do you feel now since we started? I know that I've grounded a lot since we've started. Do you feel any kind of presence or energy around you? Do you get a colored energy around you? Elizabeth says calming. Okay. Now everybody open your eyes and give me a little bit of what that experience was like for you so I can share it out loud with everybody else. Jean says knowing. Rachel says awesome. I feel loved. Pink. Megan says, oh, maybe that's not about this. I mean, people want to package me differently than how I see myself or want to be seen. That's something else, Megan. We'll get to that. What does the color yellow mean? Okay. Angela, I'll get to that in a second. I'm going to put you up here so I don't forget. Kara says peaceful. Kimmy says relieved, though I know my guides show up like cobwebs on the left side of my face. Good. Pink. Megan said hot pink. Celine said liberating. And Sapphire said calm, I believe. It's going so fast. Clarifying, beautiful. Dina says warmth near my heart. Melissa says relaxed. Tracy says calm and confident. Orange is yellow. Peaceful and color blue. Great. Let's take this lesson. Host Sonia says taken care of. Do you see how easy that was? Was that a shock to any of you, how easy it was? Was that a shock to any of you is what I want to know now. Joyous, Lisa says, love that. I love that you're all having this experience. Viorica said feeling safe. Seems like you're all just, it might be a time delay, but that's okay. It didn't seem like a shock. Kathleen said no. Great. What would love them strengthening my trust in my knowing my God separated. Great. Okay, good. Yes, easy, no, no. Okay, great. So I want to go, Angela, and a lot of you asked about the color. So let me teach you something about color right now, and then we're going to go into Q&A, I promise. So don't worry. Seems like a lot of you got a color. If you didn't get a color, go back. Paula said, no shock here. Woohoo! I love the way you wrote that. I just had to cheer that. Not a shock, Rachel said, but easy to forget to do it. Exactly. Exactly. Where is that, Rachel? Rachel, we're going to put you up here now. You're next. Yeah, Denny, I'm going to talk to you. I'm seeing a lot of your questions, and I want to get to them because I really want to. Everybody's going to learn. We're in a soul grouping right now, so let's have some fun. I enjoy these things way too much. Maybe not doing too much because it's all good. I think I have something in my eye. Okay, let's talk about color real quick because I want you guys to learn a tool because if I don't get to your question, I want you to be able to read for yourself. It's super important for me that you learn how to read for yourself. I think a lot of you know that I took that off of my website because it's I've decided that I really just want people to learn how to do this for themselves right now. So color. If you didn't get a color, I want you to close your eyes. I'm going to go let my kitty cat in, because he wants to come in. I want you to close your eyes right now and focus on that color and breathe into a color. And if you didn't get a color, I want you to pick a color. Thank you, Elizabeth. I saw that. Okay. Now that most of you have a color, I want now to teach you a little bit about how to break down the meaning of the color for you. So I want you to, and if you didn't get a color, I just want you to pick a color and I want you to trust your instincts right now, whatever color you choose, okay? So I just want you to trust, this is what made it so easy for me to go into channeling, was that I trusted whatever came through. So we're all getting colors. The dogs are coming. I'm going to pick up the dogs, Denny. I was away. Remember, I was on a ghost tour. Woo! That's a whole other story. So anyway, so think of the color right now. Notice what it feels like to breathe with that color. How does it feel to breathe with it, to actually send your breath to it and bring your breath in? How does it feel to breathe with that color? Now, as you look at that color, what is your memory of that color? Do you have a particular memory of that color? Now, as you think about that memory, how does that memory feel about that color? How does that memory feel about that color? So Marilyn, you said, reminds you of a sunset. So what does that mean? How does it feel? I always want you, Paula, if you can't find a memory, that's okay. Try to remember the first time, or just imagine a first time you saw that color. Where would you have seen that color? And notice how it makes you feel. That's the most important thing. So like Viorica, I hope I'm saying your name right, honey. I get chills, warm. Denny says snuggled. Jean says happy, vivacious. Okay, so guess what? Mine was yellow and it just made me happy, Elizabeth said. Childlike. Lorraine says safety. Kimmy said no memory. So here's a good question, okay? Tammy says the room I just painted. I get chills, warm. You just all broke down a symbol. You didn't have to go to the internet, and I'm going to talk to you about no memory. You didn't have to go to the internet. You didn't have to read it in a book. You all just took a symbol that your guides gave you from a very simple breathing exercise that I gave you, and you just learned why your guides gave you that color, what it meant. Now I want to know how that feels to you, to have that understanding. Now, if you have no memory of the color, you never want to put a period after something. You never want to say, that's it, I have no memory of the color. You want to investigate it further. I'm going to go into this more in the video series. So, Kimmy, I'm not calling you out like, you did it wrong. How dare you? No. Thank you for the opportunity to teach, okay? So you want to say to yourself, I don't really have a memory of the color blue, but when can I possibly think the first time I saw it? Oh, I think maybe it was the color of the classroom that I was in 8th grade. How did I feel when I was in 8th grade? That's where you just want your imagination to run. That's where you just want to allow things to just happen and go. So try never to put a period after something. Always try to recognize that there's something else that you can ask yourself. Okay, Kimmy, let me know. Oh my God, a bug just flew down my throat. What do you think Spirit's trying to say there? I just swallowed a bug. Oh my goodness. Anything can happen when it's live, right? It's hysterical. I'm going to come back to Rachel in a second. So I just want to read some of these. Colette says, light, breezy. Celine said mine was orange. Then strong. Colette said divine protein. Divine protein. Yes, exactly. Thank you. That bug was divine protein. I'm totally fine. Somebody said you don't bug me. That's hilarious. Dancy said I painted my daughter's room pink. I was happy singing. Celine said mine was orange, then strong pink, warming joy, and all things beautiful. So what I want to know is, how does it feel? I'm good. I have water right here, Megan. Thank you. Megan's. Carmelie says she associates purple with power or something. I can't remember what it said. I'm one with nature. Thank you. Yeah. I may have to blow my nose because I think it's now in my nose. It's flying around my body. Anyway, so did it feel good to be able to break down a symbol? That's my question now. Did you recognize the power in yourself to be able to break down a symbol as I blow with my nose? Did it feel good to be able to do that? Did you trust that you could do that? That's what I want to know now as I wash down the bug. Yes. Dina said yes. Elizabeth said yes. Kimmy said blue, or is the rescuer? I need to rescue myself. Got it. That's great, Kimmy, that you came up with that understanding, sweetie. Jean said it gave me confidence in myself. Great. Cara said yes. Megan says yes. Elizabeth, definitely. Christine, yes. Good. Okay, good. So now let's go. Victoria said, I know a cool lady that swallowed a fly. There's also that poem. I know an old lady that follows a fly. Debbie said she couldn't break it down. Debbie, I want to come back to you in a second, but I want to talk about what Rachel said here. So I want to do this first, okay? And then we want to go to Debbie as to why she didn't break it down. Then we're going to go into Q&A. Karen says she loves the process of inquiry. Thank you. Karen, you know, some of these Karen's in membership, and Elizabeth and Megan's in membership, and they're really learning the process, which is really wonderful to see. So Rachel and Barbara, you said something interesting. When I was able to break it down, when I work with you, a strong creative opening occurs. Yes, that happens in group energy a lot, Barbara. So I'm going to eat a banana to transport the e-bug down. I didn't mean to hit that one, but thanks, Kimmy. So Barbara said, I was able to break it down when I work with you, a strong creative opening. So it's the same thing that Rachel was kind of saying. You kind of forget it, right? So the biggest thing that I want to teach all of you is I don't want any of you to be hard on yourself. Like Kimmy said earlier, like, I don't have a memory. And I was like, you know, this is what you need to do. And then she got it right away, right? She was able to take what I was saying to her and to make it happen for herself. So the thing is that the reason why you're having a lot of creative energy is that we're in a creative group right now. We're in a soul grouping. We've probably, a lot of us have known each other in other lifetimes, or maybe we came here, some of us came here from similar planets, or whatever you believe. And when we creatives and intuitives and mediums get together in a room, And we're all mediums. If you're channeling your guides, if you're talking to your guides, that is what a medium is. That's my modern day experience of a medium, or what Sue Kovacs calls it, 21st century medium. I love when she coined that term, and you're going to get to meet Sue Kovacs in a couple of Facebook Lives. So what I'm trying to show you is that when we all come together, we think of things. But the more you practice it, the more you do it, even you don't have to be, remember I said, you don't have to be like in meditation on some big mountain. You can do it while you're doing your laundry. You can do it before you get up in the morning. It's a perfect time to do it when your brain is like quiet, to really connect with your guides then. You can do it when you're cooking dinner. I find a lot when I'm in the kitchen washing dishes. I find it a lot when I'm in the shower. So I want you to just start practicing it on every day. Just color, which is really a guidance for you, which is a guide. So that's what I want you to do. Now, there was someone who said, and if she could rewrite back, that she didn't get anything. Debbie, she said, no, I couldn't break it down. So Debbie, give me the color that you got, okay? And I want to work with Debbie real fast so we could see, you can learn other ways, and then I can get to the Q&A portion. Oh, this was very interesting. Where was that? Somebody said, let me see if I can get to it. I'm going to go on the regular page. Golden. So Debbie said golden. Okay. So Debbie, what does that golden energy remind you of? That little bugger is up my nose now. What does that golden energy remind you of? I'm waiting for Debbie to answer, and then I'll get to the rest of you. What does that golden energy remind you of, Debbie? And does anybody want to help her out? Debbie, protection. Great. What does protection, what in your life do you experience protection now? Is there anywhere in your life where you feel protected? Anywhere in your life where you feel protected? Damn bug. Debbie, so just let me know that, and I know it may take a while. Susan, don't worry about it, honey. Just stay on with us. We're just working with a color, and you'll get to see it as we go on. So, Debbie, what I want to say to you right now as I'm waiting for you to respond is you just broke down the color. You thought you couldn't do it, and I'm not really sure why. I'm trying to hide the bride's bra strap. As of now, everywhere. Great. As of now, everywhere. That's what Debbie says. And Denny says something that I agree with, and always said, you shared yellow golden can be Christ energy as well. Yes, if Christ energy speaks to her, then that is very true. So not so years ago. So Debbie, you just broke down the symbol of golden. And I'm not sure where you thought you didn't break it down, but you knew. That should be on a Facebook bloopers reel. Eating the bug. You broke it down. So for some reason you thought that you couldn't break it down, but you did. And that was wonderful. So I just wanted to play along with you. So thank you. So now I'm going to go back and do some Q&A now. I may have to like go choke a second, but if you have questions for me, yeah, Elizabeth, my guides are playing with me. I know why it is. My energy was so high, I didn't ground before I came, as I touched my nose and everything. As you can tell, I'm not really vain. I fixed my bra strap. I fixed my hair. I am vain in the sense, what's my hair doing? So what happened probably is I didn't ground. I rushed into this. So because I didn't ground, I allowed like crazy energy in instead of just like whoosh grounding. So I want to get some of these questions in, and I will go back up, so don't worry about it too. But if you want to write them down again, please write them down. Let me see. Yes, Joanne, this will be available later when you're not at work, totally. Marcia said, why do I doubt our messages so much? How do we trust more? So again, Marcia, That happens with practice. So the way that I ended up trusting more was, one, I think I've told you this before, or if I didn't, it's in the video series, I just trusted out the gate. In terms of, I couldn't take my life anymore. It was too depressing. It was too upsetting. I was too suicidal. So I had hold on. I'm going to get a cough drop. So I had no choice but to trust. So the way I trusted was, I was still skeptical, but I was like, I'm willing to try this because nothing else is working. And by doing that and continuing to do the exercises that I'm showing you, even though a lot of them are created from my guides, the more I was able to see in my outside world the confirmations from my guides. And because of that, it allowed me to continue to build trust. And the more I felt like I was coming back to a warm blanket whenever I was having a difficulty. So I used to tell this story about, I was at a job and I shared this office with this really nasty guy. And he ripped into me one day in a way that nobody should ever rip into anyone. And I left that office so upset. And I came home and my boss was like, what happened? And I was like, this is when I was a bookkeeper, I was freelance. I was like, I'm not going to talk to anyone right now. I need to go home. So I knew not to go to my boss. I came home and I went into meditation with my guides. And my guides were like, you have to leave that job. They didn't make the guy wrong. They explained everything that was going on with me so that I could graduate to a whole other level of being. And I was off for 2 days, so I didn't have to go back to the job for 2 days. So they calmed me down right away. They explained everything. They brought me to a place of peace. And I knew that I was quitting. I was like, okay, that's it. This is the thing that's the impetus that's pushing me. And when I went back to work, they moved him out of my office because my friend who overheard the whole argument went to the big boss and told him what happened. And I was more important to my boss than this kid. And they moved him out of my office. So Spirit took care of everything. But the thing that I want to say to you is that it's moments like that I came home. I knew not to react. I knew not to freak out. I knew to go sit with my guides right away. I knew to listen to them. And then it all worked out. And that's what I'm trying to teach all of you. So great, great, great question. Okay. Somebody has been asking about something. Well, let me see. Dana keeps asking this question, and I want to get to this question. So, guys, I don't filter questions. I just take where my guides take me. I'm not afraid to answer questions, just so you know how it's working for me. This is working, the cough drop. Dana says, why do I keep losing my job? Dana, the reason, there's another bug flying around. Did you see that, Mother? Mother, I didn't say it. The reason why this is probably happening, sweetie, is a few reasons. I feel that you are probably not doing what you really want to be doing. And you may be setting up unconsciously a situation where you continue to lose your job so that you're getting forced in a way to have a reckoning with yourself. It's not like Spirit is causing this to happen. I actually feel like we co-create on such a level with our souls that Spirit initiates these things with us. So your soul may be saying, I'm not really sure I want to get away from me. Not really sure I want to be doing this job. I'm not really sure that this is for me. You may be having a victim kind of experience, like why do people not like me? And all that happening. And so what I want to know from you, Dana, is are these jobs that you really want? Are these jobs that you really want to be doing, sweetie? Because if you're continuing to lose a job, one, you have to first check in with yourself and say, is it my attitude? Am I not happy? Am I complaining all the time? And then if you're doing that, you're not liking where you're at. And Spirit is asking you to start liking where you're at. So that's what I feel is going on, Dana. So definitely right back in. All right, let's keep going. Yes, this is going to be available later. I answered that one. I'm trying to get. Lucia says, great, Joanne. I'm glad I'm describing you to a T, because that's what your guides are going to do. They're going to help you to find your truth, find your job, find your path. What does ringing, my guides connecting to me? Yes. Ringing in your ear is about clairaudience opening up. And Dana, I see your question. I'll come to you next, sweetie, because I want to do a follow-up for all the people that this is going to help. So ringing in your ears is about clairaudience. It's about your ears opening up. I'll tell a quick story about clairaudience. When I was hearing them like call my name and stuff, but right before that happened, I had a lot of clogging in my ears. And I also, people would talk to me and I couldn't understand them. I mean, they'd be right next to me. I'd be like, what are you saying? I'd like, they were speaking another language. I could not understand them. I'd be on the phone and I was like, what? Like I thought the phone was broke. And I went to like the best ENT doctor in New York City. She's Celine Dion's doctor. And they did hearing tests with me. And my hearing was stellar. It was phenomenal. And they could not understand what was going on. Well, I know now what was going on was my clairaudience was opening up, because it opened up quite a bit after that, like not that much longer after that. So that's what happens. So they will get your attention that way. Okay. Let me go down to Dana's question. She said, how do I find a job that I love? And guys, we're going to be doing so many more Facebook Lives. So if I can't get to you, just take in the techniques and the tools that I give to other people and apply them to your life, even if you're not looking for a job. So if Dana's asking how she can find a happy job, which I guess, Dana, I answered the question properly. Maybe you're looking for a happy relationship, or maybe you're looking for more money, or maybe you're looking for abundance, or maybe you're looking for better friends. Whatever I say to Dana about getting a happy job, you can do that. So Dana, there's a great book called The Artist Way. How many of you have done this book? Oh, I didn't mean to hide you, honey. I would like you to do that book. And if you can't do the whole book, I'd like you to read the book, and I'd like you to do one or two of the exercises at the end of that book. I'd also like you to go to my YouTube page and look at the souls list and look at the 1 to 10 exercise. And I want you to do those exercises. The way that you can find the job that you love is by bringing more things into your life that bring you joy and understanding what that means to you. You can't find a job that you love if you don't know what joy means to you on a very basic level, or what it is to have fun. And then many of you have a disconnect where you're like, well, Marilyn, I like dogs. So how is that a job? Well, I'm not saying go be a dog walker, but go do more of what you love, and you will be amazed at what kind of energy will come into your life, what people will come into your life and offer you a job that you've been thinking about, or offer you an opportunity that you would have never imagined. But we can't find the opportunities in the job we love if we're only standing in the things that we hate. So it's really good to focus on what you love to do. So the 1 to 10 exercise and the souls list. Unfortunately, I'm doing this all on my own. My assistants are busy doing other things. I have to give a shout out to them in a minute because they are amazing. So look at the souls list on YouTube and the 1 to 10 exercise. Okay? And follow that, Dana, and then let me know how it goes, sweetie. Tag me in a Facebook post, okay? A lot of people are saying they did the Artist Way, which is great. And it's really, really good. So let me go down and just try to get some more questions in. So this is great. Denny asks, is the Artist Way for sparking creativity or show joy areas for work life? It's showing joy areas in work and life. So your souls are creative, but many of you believe that you weren't creative for whatever reason. But your guides work with you in creativity and imagination, and we're all creative at the core level. And you want to open up that door to creativity, and that's what gets you to live an inspired life. It's really important. So if you're unhappy in your job or whatever it is that's going on in your life, you want to start with the basics of the creativity in your life. You want to start at what is going on in that foundation. And the more that you bring that into your life, the more that things start entering into your life that are aligned with your soul. So that's how that works. I'm going to grab another one. Just going to just start grabbing for the ears. Can it also feel like water is stuck in there and it comes and goes? Yes, totally. That's the clogging. And somebody had asked me, I don't know where it is, but I saw it really quickly. She said, what do you do? Like if you have ringing in your ears and you're having clogging in your ears, what you want to do when that happens is close your eyes and focus on the part of your ear that's ringing or clogged. And you want to try to give it words or color. You want to start giving it and letting it give you information, right? So if your ear is clogged, you want to like focus and breathe into it and start paying attention to it and have conversations with it. And notice if you're hearing anything in the outside world when you're doing this, because everything in the outside world every sound has a symbolic meaning. It's not just visuals, it's sound too. So you want to pay attention to it. And then what you can do, like I take things in a very creative level. I would take that ringing or I would take that clogging and I would color it. And I would give it a form and give it a picture. And you got to remember something. If you're working with color with your hands, it's a great way to communicate with spirit because your souls know the language of color, know the language of music, know the language of sound. That friggin' bug is still flying around. That's because I had my door open all day for the cats to go in and out. Anyway, you want to color it and then you want to talk with it. So it allows you to become more personally, more intimate with what's going on inside of you. So I really want to break you out of the habit of this is happening. What do I do now? And I want you to start thinking out of the box. You know, when I did that in 5th grade, I loved playing with Play-Doh. And for some reason, I'm getting a ringing in my ears and I'm thinking about Play-Doh. Somebody go buy Play-Doh now and play with it. You'd be surprised what comes out of these things. And the person who asked me before, how do you trust your guides? That's how you trust them. Thank you so much, Trisha, for sharing that. Trisha and Laura, oh my goodness. I mean, the team around me, Sarah, the people that are helping, but Trisha and Laura are like my main assistants. They're amazing. And then there's, you don't know, Sarah, Liana, there's Kate. There's a few people that are really helping me and they're phenomenal. My assistants are, thank you so much for them. Thank you, Trisha, for sharing that. She just shared the 1 to 10 exercise. And Trisha, if you could share the souls list exercise, that'd be great if you're on soul. So that's what I want you to do. Okay. Nancy, I spent 2 months taking care of my mom through her death. Sorry to hear your mom passed, honey. I just started to take off with my new career. My daughter became very ill and moved in with me. Is there something I'm learning through all of this for my work? First of all, I'm sorry that you're going through all of this. I mean, it's hard to see a passing of a mother and a daughter who's ill. I feel there are layered things happening here. I'm going to spit out my cough drop. Isn't that attractive? Aren't I attractive? But I feel like it's great. What I love about this, Nancy, is that you're asking this question. You're not sitting here feeling victimized by things. You may have moments of it when you deal with difficult things, but you're sitting here and you're saying, what's going on? Why is this happening to me over and over again? Why is this happening at this particular period in this short period of time? And what I feel like is happening, again, there's something with your daughter. Your daughter's going through her own stuff where she's got to have her life lesson, right? But for you, I do feel that the way that you're being called to help these people, the way that you're recognizing how you're dealing with it, how you're being conscious of it, and the way that you're being called to take care of yourself is showing you that there's a whole other level to your work in this society, in this world. So I feel that you're being broken open in a way in order to recognize some other innate gifts that you may have not been aware of, and you're learning through tragedy or trauma experiences. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. And you're now learning how to take another level to it. So whatever work that you do, which I'm not picking up right now, blame it on the bug. You're just putting this into that. Nancy, let me know if that resonates. So one of the things Spirit taught me, how many of you feel really connected to God and Source when something traumatic happens, when you get catapulted into something traumatic? I know for me, right? You turn to prayer. And Spirit taught me something. They said, you don't need something traumatic. They would give me a lot of sirens for some reason. They said, you don't need something traumatic happening in order for you to feel us. You need to stop that behavior. You need to stop that cycle. And they were totally right. And I did, which is really, really good. Jasmine, thank you for trying to help Anat. So I just wanted to share that. Okay, let's see what else we have. Ashley, I've recently become more open with letting spirit in. I can hear them, but I feel like they are whispering. How can I fully open myself up to my guides and loved ones? Ashley, keep doing the work that I'm suggesting you do. It's all a process, but also instead of the whispering happened to me too, which I didn't understand what they were saying. But what I want you to do is keep celebrating that they're whispering. When they whisper, go, woohoo. And, try to guess what they're saying. Say, I hear whispering. What am I thinking about right now? What do I think they would say to me? What would I say? What would I feel like a real loved one would say to me right now? The more you do that, the more you engage the creative energy between you and your guides. And the more you start opening up to a dialogue. Because what's happening is you may be trapped in a certain way of communicating. And when you're trapped in a box, a certain way of communicating, it's hard. You have to start thinking out of it. So if whispering, I don't feel like it's getting to you, but if whispering's getting to you and you're like, come on, I really want to hear what they're saying. And this is for anybody who's struggling with what they're saying. When you start feeling them around you, start giving them words. Just start giving them words. They are dropping the information in you in more ways than one. So say, how do I feel as I'm hearing this whispering? What am I seeing color-wise? What am I seeing in my physical world? What am I hearing? What do I think I'm hearing? What was I just thinking about? What do I need help in? So try that, Ashley. That will really help you. Okay. Joanne, yes, you can become dizzy from spirit. So this was on my Facebook page, my membership page. Sue is going, not Sue Kovac, somebody else who's really opening up a lot right now is going through this. And I was so dizzy in the beginning. I was so nauseous in the beginning. I had to ground all the time. And sometimes I'd go into meditation and you're welcome, Ashley. I would meditate. I'd get so nauseous. Oh my goodness. I'd have to stop the meditation and like a pregnant woman, run to my pantry and eat crackers. I was like, oh my goodness. There's a way to, when you get dizzy, to breathe. That's why I don't want people doing this work in the car right away, to breathe into your spine. So if you breathe up and down your spine, like I used to see a yellow color up and down my spine and I would breathe into it, also laying flat on the ground and breathing up and down, because it's about grounding, Joanne. You're not grounded. That can usually help the dizziness right in the moment. So try that. There's many, many, many tools, but that's one tool. Okay. Yes, Sophia, the breakdown of the color is the guidance. It's the info. Exactly. So the little exercise, and for those of you who are just joining, that's a way of getting information, guidance for yourself. So yes, thank you for that question, Sophia, because sometimes I'm not that clear. Let me I want to try to go to somebody who I haven't talked to yet. Kathy, do guides reveal messages other ways, like through numbers and yes, and license plates? How do you know they're speaking to you and it's not your ego? Kathy, great question. I'm gonna itch my nose, scratch my nose. Sweetie, the numbers and license plates are definitely ways that they'll speak to you. We broke down numbers. I think that was in the first Facebook Live I did with you guys. So go back and watch that. Might have been the second one, but go back and watch that. And so yes, now how do you know it's not your ego? So here's my question to you, Kathy. I'm going to give you two things with this. This is for everybody who struggles with this, okay? First one is, many times it's not your ego. Many times you're hearing exactly what you're supposed to hear because it touches your heart so. Because you've been waiting to hear this. Because you're like, oh my goodness, I hope that's true. I hope that's true, right? So many times it's that. The ego part of it is like, oh no, that's your ego. Sorry, you can't have that. That's your friggin' ego. So usually it's that. Now, it gets tricky because sometimes, like this happened with me, and I talked about this, I believe, in the first Facebook Live too. Say it's a relationship, and you're asking, is this person for me? Is this person for me? And you're getting signs that he is, but he's clearly not, or she's clearly not. What's happening in a moment like that is, one, wishful thinking could be happening, and I'm going to give you a tool for that. Two, what's happening too is your spirit is not ready for you to be done with that relationship. So they want you to learn something about self-preservation, about empowerment, about loving yourself, about recognizing the good of who you are, whatever's going on in the relationship. The person isn't treating you well, whatever it may be. So they sometimes won't break the tie apart completely until you learn something so that you don't invite that similar energy in. Now, a tool that I used for all of you to have this. In the beginning, is a great book, by the way. It's called Opening to Channel by Sanaya Roman. And I believe I learned this in this book. And then, like I said, my guides are teaching guides, so I take a lot of it from them. I made a mini me, little mini me, right? That's how I did it. And the mini me and I had a contract, and we really had a contract. And she would sit, I think it was on my right shoulder. And whenever I was meditating and channeling, if I felt like I was manipulating the response, I would turn to her and I'd say, am I manipulating this? And she would say, yep, or no. And I had to trust whatever she said, even if I doubted it. So I worked with her for probably a year or so, probably maybe a little less, but it might have been about a year. And I eventually didn't need her anymore because I understood the guidance. The reason you understand what you're learning about guidance is not what they look like. It's how they feel. And you're going to learn about this in the video workshop. So it's how they feel. So you can work with a little mini me. You could, if you like, I don't know why I'm seeing the little Fruit Loop bird, carry him around with you. You can carry a little emblem around with you, anything. I don't use a pendulum anymore. Pendulum is I don't have one here. I mean, I've used it. It's a muscle testing exercise. I have another muscle testing exercise you can do with your fingers. I'll teach that down the line. But because I was manipulating the pendulum. So some people, Laura said it's a great tool. And in the beginning for me, Laura, I am with you. It was great. And then I got to a place where I started manipulating it. But then I brought it out just recently about something huge, really big. And my guides kept saying something like a test result showed something really big. And I was like, they keep saying it's not in the house. It's not in the house. And then I went around with the pendulum and pendulum said the same thing. And then I did another test, wasn't in the house. So it did work for me. So it's great. Rachel liked the Fruit Loop bird. Okay, let's go to, I want to go to somebody who I haven't had. Take me somewhere where you wanted me to go, Spirit. I'm seeing where I'm not reading any of these questions. I'm seeing where they type. Okay, Kamla Devi. If an intention is there to meet and communicate with your guides, how come they don't reveal themselves to us up front? Because you're in your way. That's my only understanding of it. And also, oh, thank you guys. So the other thing too is, think about this. If you're not ready to receive very high level guidance only because your body can't handle it, or there's not space in your life to take in the messages, or there's different things going on that, I know you can't see my face, you can just see her question. So I'm going to read it. Then they won't show themselves to you. So sometimes in the beginning, people work with Jesus right away. Sometimes people aren't ready to work with Jesus, and they won't show themselves right away. So they may not be revealing themselves up front because there's something your soul has to learn, right? They may not be revealing themselves up front because you have to trust yourself more, because you have to believe in yourself, because you have to push out whatever your mother told you or your father or whoever's in your head. So it's all a learning process. It's not that they're not revealing themselves. It's that they're choosing how they reveal themselves to you so that you can learn the best to your ability and create a foundation that is kick-ass for you to move forward with them. Okay, I can read the rest. Why is it always a game? Why is it always a game of sign and interpretation? Because they struggle with our words. Our language is so diluted, so they struggle with our words. And in order to get our attention, how many of you going, is that my voice? I don't know if it's my voice. I don't know if it's my voice. And they said, Megan just said getting lessons in divine timing, and Megan's right. Megan, I told you, is a psychic medium. She's wonderful. Yes, Megan, that's correct. Divine timing too. Thank you for that, sweetie. But it's also, they show you signs and symbols in the beginning so that you can listen to them, so that you'll pay attention. They're talking to you all the time, but you can't tell that it's their voice. You think it's your own thoughts, whatever it may be. You haven't yet learned their voice, and their voice is energy. Thank you. They're saying something to me. And so that's why they talk that way. Also, I'm going to go back to that in a second. Also, I often flow when I communicate with others. I can read and I'm usually spot on. How do I differentiate between me and my guides? Is there a different? Yes, big difference. This is really a lot of stuff. Kalma Devi, I don't know if I can answer all this now. Is there a differentiation of we're both one and the same? One in the spiritual sphere and the other me in the physical sphere. Okay. So you have to know the difference, because it's one and the same for some people. Their guides live inside of them. Mine live outside. I explained that in one of the other Facebook Lives, so go watch it. But the reason why you have to know the difference is because you want to be a clear channel. You want to make sure you're not projecting any stuff onto the reading. If you feel that you're not doing it and you're not projecting and you're able to move yourself completely out of the way, that's fine with me. If you can't move yourself out of the way, I have an issue with it. I'm sorry, it's one of my strongest points of platform, because there are too many readers out there that don't know how to do that. It's really, honey, it's up to you whether they're in the spiritual sphere or in the physical sphere. Like I said, that is completely up to you. So they wanted me to talk about Esther Hicks. So Esther Hicks talks about her process, right? And I know what's interesting, I've only started listening, I read Esther Hicks years ago, right before when I was channeling. And then I started listening to her again. And what was fascinating right now, and I hadn't listened to her in like 10, 11 years, everything she says, my guides have been teaching me. So I'm loving that Abraham work, loving it. And Esther Hicks talks about how they talk to her in vibration. She finds the words. Her vibration meets their vibration, and then she finds the words. And I know exactly what she's talking about. So Kamala Devi, let me know if that helped you, sweetie. I hope it did. And I'm not saying you're projecting on a reading at all. I just wanted to make a point there. So for me, they work through me. And I know Megan knows what I'm talking about because I know how Megan works and stuff. So you probably understand it too. Whether they're separate from you, that's up to you. But again, I talked about a lot of that in the other Facebook Live, so hopefully you can go back there. Susan says, a hot flash is over 5 years ago. Now they're back. Could this be from spirit? Sweetie, yes, definitely, because you get hotter. So it could be a little bit of both. It could be hormonal imbalance. They could also knock hormones out of balance because you're vibrating higher and they vibrate lower. So you definitely get really, really hot. All right. Peggy. What would the color red mean? I get names in my dreams and I write them down. No other dream details. Also have a tone in my left ear for at least 4 months. Are all connected community guys. You must be joining late, Peggy. Red, you're going to have to listen to the beginning of this Facebook Live and play that game. So you have to know what red means to you, because I want you to learn how to trust yourself. I'm not being like tricky. I just want you to learn. Just keep writing down the dreams, the names that you get. They may be spirits that are deceased, or they may be people that you're going to meet. Don't worry about any other dream details. What I would suggest you do is when you write those names down, ask yourself how you feel about writing those names down. How does it feel to you? And the tone in the left ear is about your guides communicating with you. I covered a lot of this before, so definitely listen to that. Okay. Laura says it's a great tool. Debbie, how about headaches when working with your guides? Good question, Debbie. Debbie's in membership now too, I believe. Debbie, so these are the type of questions, just so you know, you can ask in membership all time. So this is stuff where you can get help. Headaches, when working with your guides, they can be different things. So headaches could be your own thoughts that may be in the way. So whenever I'm in a reading and the person thinks too much and analyzes too much, I get a headache. So that's a symbol for me, like, oh my goodness. And anytime I say it to someone, I'm like, you spend too much time in your head. You think too much. And they're like, oh yeah, I do. So it could be over-analyzation. It could also be third eye chakra opening up, or their energy coming into your head. And it could be like the way that they're communicating with you. So it's just causing a little bit of pain. That's why I'm saying your body has to be ready to receive their vibration. So many times people will get very ill before they reach another level of communication. Now, this is the stuff that I want to stop. Now, Megan knows exactly what I'm talking about because it just happened to her. And it's happening to a couple of people in membership. And it just happened to me, too. I'm being treated for certain things. But I knew that there was another level of communication happening. It doesn't have to happen that way. And the way that that doesn't have to happen is through consciousness. So the more conscious you become about conscious choices you're making, where you're going, what this means for your lifestyle. Right now I'm changing so many things, leaving relationships, friendships, a lot of things. So my body, I needed to take better care of my body. I needed to be ready to step into the empowerment of where I was going. And because I didn't connect the two and take care of the two, there was a little bit of a breakdown happening. And some of this is really old stuff too that's working its way out. And I feel like the headaches for you, Debbie, is really, it's like me too, really old stuff that's working itself out. But those will go away. Try a healing color with the headache. So if the headache feels like a purple and yellow feels healing, put the yellow over the purple, okay? Celine, a strange question popped in my head. Who is being guided? I like that question. It's a good question, because what it feels like to me that question stems from is your guides are being guided too by you. So if we're all one and we're all connected, then who's being guided is correct. We're all being guided. Our guides are being guided, we're being guided, and then guidance isn't even needed. Because if you're really connected to source and in that energy, everything's there. You don't need to be guided. It's all one. I like that question, Celine. Let me know how that resonates with you. Miriam asks, is it good to have a crystal around me and turquoise stone? Yeah, if they speak to you. If you don't like them, then no. I can't work with crystals. I have an orb somewhere. I don't even know where it is. I'll clean it up. But you got to clean the crystals. If you don't know how to clean them, learn how to clean them. I have a whole, I'll teach it to you right now, okay? This is how you clean crystals. And I'm going to be ending soon, but I'll take a few more questions because I really enjoy this. Take the crystal. This is one way of cleaning. This is the way I was taught. And you put it in a bowl of distilled water with a lemon squeezed in it. Distilled water is not water from your faucet. It's bottled water. Then you put it in there for a half hour. Then you take it out, throw out that water, put in just water itself, distilled water again, no lemon. You stick it in there for a half an hour. Let it sit there. Then you take it out, and then you take a white cloth, and you wipe them clean. But here's the thing, and this is what I teach in my space clearing class, that you're empowered with this. You need to clean it with good and knowing it's clean. You need to say source energy, God, like whatever it is. I want you to clean it without any kind of negativity if you can. So if you've got to stick your feet in dirt and lean on a tree as you're drying it off, do that. That's one of the ways to clean it. Good question. Okay. Nancy, trying to get to new people. How come sometimes I get completely contradicting information when asking for guidance? Great question, Nancy. Wendy, I just saw your question. I'm going to try to come to you after this. How come sometimes I get completely contradicting information when asking for guidance? I hope you were on when I did the little me. Sometimes what happens with that is sometimes there's like 3 different reasons. Sometimes it's a neutral response. So sometimes people ask me, should I move to Paris? And the guys will say, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, right? And the reason why that happens is a couple of reasons. So you see my little kitty cat in the background? He makes an appearance in the video too. He's on Prozac. That's all I can say. Anyway, he should have got that bug before it went down my throat. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. A couple of reasons. One is your soul needs to learn something before they drop in the exact answer. They keep you in the contradiction so that you learn something more, so that you can go to a higher place. The other lesson is it's a neutral answer. It doesn't matter either way, because what you need to learn, you'll learn. So in essence, what Spirit is doing in that moment is saying to you, what is it that you really want to do? What is it that you really need to know about yourself? What is it that you don't know right now to make an informed decision? Why can't you make this decision right now? Or why can't you get this information right now? What is it that you have to graduate to? So those are 2 of the main reasons. The other reason is sometimes the thoughts get in the way, right? So you're too emotionally attached to an answer. So you get contradicting information, and that's where the little me that I talked about early on that you should listen to that I talked about. Let me know if that makes sense. I want to try to, I don't know if I'm going to find it. She asked about, woo, wow. Okay, here it is. I just found it. Where did it go? Wendy. I want to get to that because there's a reason for that. So I have strange heart pains. Great. Marie says she cleans her crystal with Reiki energy. Love that, Marie. Good for you. I can't talk to the technical things right now. I'm sorry, guys, if you're having technical things. I know some people are popping on and trying to help, and I really appreciate that. I have strange heart pains. I know it's not health related, but it is energy and not being able to handle the energy. What can I do when I feel that feeling in my chest? So, Wendy, there's different reasons. I was having the same experience when I was really opening up to my gifts, and I had a lot of heart pain. And my guide said to me, your heart's not breaking, your heart is opening. It feels the same way. I'm not a doctor, sweetie. So if you've got something going on, you've got to go to a doctor. I'm going to give you the philosophical, psychological, spiritual reasons. But if you've got something going on, get to that doctor. I'm not picking it up. I'm not tapping into my health guide on a Facebook Live. There's no way. I do have a health guide, but I'm definitely not going to do that on a Facebook Live with this much energy. So ask yourself, is this because my heart's opening? And in a way you already did, because you said, I'm not able to handle the energy. What can I do when I feel that feeling in my chest? I would say ground. So when you're feeling too much feeling here, right, you can touch things with your hands and push the energy out and see yourself pushing the energy out. You can stand somewhere in dirt or with your feet on the floor and you can knock them up and down and breathe through them and push the energy out. You can open up your crown chakra, open up your heart chakra, open up your feet chakras, your feet, and just allow the energy to go through you. Because we don't want to say no to the heart opening, but we do want to also say to spirit, which you can do, can you give it to me a little slower? I really want this. I'm really grateful for this, but can you give it to me a little bit slower? That's what I suggest you do. There's more that they're telling me, but I want to get to a few more answers and I'm going to stop because we are over the hour. Let me see what Paula says. And I'm sorry I can't get to everybody, but there's going to be many more. Hi, Mal. My very first experience with this entire realm came immediately after my partner crossing over. She has been with me and communicating almost daily. First of all, Paula, I'm sorry that I hate this. It's really hard when people lose someone. My friend just lost someone today and I was talking to her. It's always your journey, always your journey. So just know that I'm sending you good thoughts. How's that? My question is that almost all hits, syncs that I get every day, I attribute that as her. Is this okay? Completely, Paula. If it feels okay to you, it's completely okay. I'm sure that she wants to still get through to you. I'm sure she's around you, like you're saying. It feels like she is to me. And I feel like she's, one thing I learned, I'm going to take this question away. When I was working with that dead spirit, the murdered spirit that I want to write a book about, Sal Mineo. The one thing I learned from him, he really taught me this, is going to make me cry. You can have a deeper relationship with people in spirit than you can have even on the earth plane. It is so incredibly beautiful, magical, intense, complex in a great way. Nobody's business. He taught me that. You can't even imagine. And I never knew him. And what he taught me, and which that book is going to be about, besides the jail for the murder, was exactly that. So he's teaching you that right now, that relationship can be so much more beautiful, so much more magical. Okay? It was interesting on this ghost tour because the theme was all about love. You're welcome, Paula. And it's interesting as a medium, and I know Megan gets this, that this is my experience as a medium. They were like the ghosts, the hauntings, and yeah, there's experiences, but the ghosts are doing it to teach us something, not because they're struggling. They were like, are they still stuck here? And I'm like, they really can go. You're keeping them here, one, by the story that you tell, and two, you're keeping, because they're teaching you something through that story. So the ghosts are doing that. Like they're not, I don't believe in the whole, yes, we can help them move over. There's truth to that in a way. But they can really come and go also. And once they go into the light, it's my experience that they can come back. So that's my experience. Okay, I'm going to take one more and end. Thank you, Trisha, for helping. I got to tell you, the They're more than assistants, so I shouldn't even say that. My team, I'm going to call them my team. They're unbelievable. They're really unbelievable. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Somebody just said, I missed it, Brenda, about the colors around me. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, Denny, I'm going to take this question. Denny, aren't you in membership now? How come I never see you on that page, in the membership page? I know you joined. I'm pretty sure you joined. We had people were on a wait list for a really long time a while ago, so we did something. If you are, Denny, please make sure you get on that page because I need to be communicating with you there. So he asked you a great question, but you say often your guide's energy come with neutral energy. How can we feel the message is important? Great question, Denny. What I mean by neutral energy is that they don't come in and go, yeah, go out with him, or, ooh, don't do that. They come in with a neutral wisdom. They do that purposely because for me, this is me, okay? It's that love. When there's unconditional love, it just is. That's the energy. So maybe neutral isn't the right word. It just is. It's perfect. It's the exact connection. It's connected to that energy and just, it's all knowledge. It's knowing. It's wisdom. So that's the neutral energy where there isn't highs and lows. There isn't anger and sadness. There's just, here we are. We are solid. We're a foundation. And we're giving you energy. Okay, you're in jury duty. That's why I get it. So that is why. So what I want you to learn, so let's talk about the energy of your guides because I feel like this is important. So my guides, right? They all have, and I talk about this in the video series, so I'm not going to go too much into it. They all have a particular energy. I know their energy, but it's never like, I feel so much love from them. It's crazy, but it's not like the love you would feel in a romance. It's love like you would think if you believe in God or source energy that they would love you. It is an unconditional, all-accepting, magnificent, breathtaking, can't describe words, love. So that's the energy. It's stable energy, consistent energy. I adore my mother. My mother did so much for us, but she was a single mother raising 4 of us without any family. It was very difficult, and my father was very difficult. I'm not going to get into that right now. But she was inconsistent because of all she was going through. And I can't stand, maybe that's me, I can't stand inconsistency, so that's what happened. I hope that answers that. Great. Okay, I'm going to try to take one more, and then I'm going to go. Oh, I love this, Trevor. Why connect to Guide's wisdom versus connecting to our soul's wisdom? Knowing this, is there a difference? Trevor, excellent question. I hope you're still on. I really do. I will tell you that it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So whether you see it, your guides are just guiding you to your soul's wisdom. So for me, I teach about guides because they help me to access that wisdom. They give me a relationship to work with on it. They give me a communication. So if I'm having a wisdom that's rising up, like, oh my goodness, I should be doing Facebook Lives. This is amazing. Let me go to my guides and talk to them. And then we dig up more of that wisdom together. They show me things. They invite me into things. They tell me about a book. They tell me about a person to listen to. They tell me what to do. That's my way of doing it. But I was teaching a class once, and everybody in the class kind of did it my way. One guy was like, nope, they're inside. And I was like, go for it. That is great. So it's the same thing, actually, sweetie. It's just your roadmap to it. It's your access way into it. And the thing about the guides, too, is I want to explain this, too, because this is very important. They're saying it's a co-creative relationship. So that communication helps them to do stuff on the other side, as well as it helps us. So that's what I want to let you know. All right. So that was a lot, but we're going to be doing another one. And I do have to go. Adore you people. So the next one is, and there's going to be some others that I'm adding to the thing. I haven't added it just yet because we got some special guest appearances coming in. But the next one that I have scheduled is on March 18th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. It's March 18th, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'll try to take one more after I give this information, just because I love doing this. March 18th at 4, and that's a Saturday. So you people at work, I mean, you can drink during it. I can't. That'll be 7 p.m. your time on the East Coast. Come drink. Have a drink with me. I'm not going to drink. I can't. When I do this work, I'll drink after, and then we'll talk. So there you go. That's Saturday, March 18th. That's the next Facebook Live. And then remember, video 1 on Friday, March. Decided on a time, I just was told, but we'll probably be early that morning, East Coast time. Okay, I'm going to take one more and then I'm ending. I'm going to try to go back to the beginning when everybody joined, but they may not be on anymore. I want to just try to get somebody who I haven't gotten yet. And for those of you who are just joining, you're so welcome. Remember to go back in the beginning and listen, because I did do an exercise with everybody. I'm glad I'm saying your name correctly. Trying to get to a question. I don't see any questions. Oh, Stacy, sorry, honey. I hope you're still on. Well, Marilyn asked a question too. So I'm going to take Stacy's and Marilyn's. I can't read it. As we start to learn what signs and symbols mean to us as you teach in Living and Thriving series, how do we continue to trust? Well, I'm going to give you a lot more of that information, but practice every single day as if you're working out in a gym, sweetie, even if it's for 2 minutes in a day. So every morning when you wake up, connect with your guides. What I gave Michelle, I'm going to talk about this in the video series, but ask, actually I have a really cool exercise. Just ask a question. I'm going to save that exercise for another Facebook Live. It's a great exercise. Okay. So ask a question, talk to them every morning, Stacy, and just keep your eyes open, eyes peeled, keep building your symbolic library, keep working on the tools that I taught you in the Living and Thriving series, and it'll continue to grow. Remember, even though it did happen to me pretty fast, and the reason why is because of the dream class, it's still been built over time, and I've been channeling for 14 years, so that's why. Make sure we're not just singling out messages and meaning based on desired answer. I don't care about that right now. I want you to single out answers based on desired answer. Because I want you to trust in the dreams in your heart. And then when you say, wow, you know what? They really do want me to teach, to go public speak in front of 1,000 people. Now tell me what to do. What step do I need to take? What do I need to do? And it totally makes sense, sweetie. So the base thing I want you to do, Stacy, and for everybody on this, is I don't want you shutting things down because it's what you want to hear. I want you to trust that first. Oh, you got it. Good. I'm so glad, honey. Thank you. All right. I wanted to take Marilyn's, and then I do have to go, but I'll be back. I'll be back. It's not over yet. I hope I can find it. I may not be able to find it. It was a good question that I felt like it would teach everybody. Okay. Well, oh, wait. Here it is. Hold on. Whoops. Whoops. Where'd it go? It's really hard to navigate this. I got to tell you. All right, it's not there anymore, so I guess I wasn't supposed to answer it. Sorry, Marilyn. Tag me on the page. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. This is hysterical. They don't want me to answer it, Marilyn. You're wondering why you're not getting a question. Okay. Oh, this is the question you asked, but I guess that's where they took me. How funny. I think she asked about having a difficulty in hearing the answers, and I couldn't even find the question, which is really hysterical. It's not for you, Marilyn. I'm sorry. I find that love and sport is sometimes so overwhelming, I just sob. I agree with that. Okay. All right. I'm going to go. There's so much here that I want to just take on. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know how to hide. Okay, wait. Yeesh. I'm trying to get one more in here. Brenda, thank you, sweetie. Thank you. So guys, thank you so much. What I would love for you to do is, I'm going to take this real quick. Hi, Anat. What was with my resistant blind spots? Still can't tell what I'm missing there. You know, Anat, and I remember you from the last time, so it's really great to get to know you, which is so wonderful. What I feel like it is, Anat, is you're focusing on it not working. So what I want you to do instead is I want you to wake up every morning, and this is for everybody here, and I want you to have a minute visualization of completely communicating with your guides. I want you to tell that story instead for a little while, sweetie, and then I want to see what happens, okay? So I want you to tell the story of, oh my goodness, I'm like hanging out with my guides. We're like at the river together. They're showing me this incredible rock, And I know exactly what this rock means. They're telling me to pick it up and to bring it home. And this rock is telling me that I'm going to break down the walls of resistance. And I just want you to play with it. I want you to do an active imagination for a minute every morning. I want everybody to do that. Okay. I can't thank you enough. You're getting me to get these messages out to you. And I truly adore and love the process and everything that you're going through. And I thank you so much for being so here with me, to help you and to help other people. It's been a beautiful community, and you guys are incredible. So thank you for supporting each other too, especially when I wasn't on. I was on my ghost tour. I'll see you again real soon. And I'm on the page and I'm answering questions, and we got incredible moderators. Thank you to Jane. Thank you to Michelle. Thank you to Laura. I can't remember who else has been a moderator so far, but we have amazing moderators. And we're even going to do some readings soon with Sue Kovacs. So you're going to get some of that really fun stuff happening. Get ready for that video series. Start connecting with your guides now. Talk to your guides now and say, okay, I'm getting ready for that video series. What do you want me to know? All right. Much love to all of you. Thank you so much.